this is Kathy. Welcome to another episode of Tippin on Tuesday. Today I'm going to show you how to make this adorable little double pull card. And you just grab a hold of the ribbons here and both sides open up just like that. Isn't that cute? It's actually quite simple to make. So let's get started. I will be using the birthday delivery stamp set and the matching and coordinating designer series papers. But on your paper pieces, you're going to have one that, and here I have So Saffron, and this is 6 inches by 12 inches long. I've got a Whisper White oval cut with the Stitched Shapes oval dies, and I used this second largest one. I have 2 pieces of the designer series papers, and they measure 5 3/8 by 2.5. And I have 2 pieces of Pacific Point, and they are 5 5/8 by 2 3/4. I have a piece of the Old Olive mini chevron ribbon cut to 3.5 inches. And finally, I have a piece of Pacific Point that is cut 5 3/4 by 2 5/8. And the DSP, the designer series paper, is 5 3/8 by 2.5. For the decorative pieces, I have the little raccoon, one of the presents, a birthday cake, another present, a tall present, and the little turtle. And those are the pieces we'll be using on this one. I'll set those to the side, and we'll start with the base. Oh, and on top of that, I'm sorry, one more thing that we need is one of our medium clear envelopes. And so we'll be working with that as well. So I'm going to set all these papers to the side besides the 12 by 6 and bring my cutter in. And I'm going to move the cutting blade out of the way. And we are going to score at 2 5/8. At 5 1/2. At 5 7/8. At 8 3/4, and finally at 9 1/8. Now I'm going to come all the way back to this front beginning, and at 2 1/8, I'm just going to score about a 1/2 inch up on either end. Just like that. So there's just little tiny score lines. And then going to turn it lengthwise and put it up to the 1/2 inch mark. And here I'm going to take my cutting and go right up to that little score mark that I made, that 1/2 inch score mark. Just like that. And then I'll move this one over and do that as well at the 1/2 inch mark. So I have just these 2 flaps out here, and that is all of the scoring and cutting that we need to do on that. So now that we have that cut, I'm going to take my scissors, and from this first score line, which is at 2 5/8, I'm going to angle from that to this point where we cut, just like that. and do the same thing on the other side. And trim that off. Okay. Now we can go ahead and fold this over and use our bone folder. And fold that at each of the score lines. Just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to get my clear envelope piece, and I'm going to measure 5 1/4 inches, and I want to fold over at the 5 1/4 inches with this, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of press down on it to get a good seam at that point. And then I'm going to seal this so that it lays flat at 5 1/4. Okay, and it's all right if it folds out a little bit, that's not a problem. Then I'm going to bring my cutter in, and on the outside edge I want to get rid of this edge to open that up along the length, and then I'll turn that around and I'm going to measure it at 1 1/2 inches. So now I'm going to end up with a tube that is 5 1/4 inches by 1 1/2 inches. So the rest of this can be either thrown away, or you can go ahead and cut another 1 1/2 inch piece and use it on a second card. So the way this looks, I'm not sure if you can see that, is it just becomes a tube, just like that, okay? So then we'll get the inside pieces and attach the designer series paper to them. Place that one down. And this one. And we'll go ahead and do our stamping on one of them. You'll take from the birthday delivery the happy birthday, and I have Pacific Point ink. And I will stamp that over here on the left hand side of this one, just like that. And then on this one I'm going to stamp "Let's Celebrate Your Day," and that's going to be in the center of this one. Okay, and while we have the ink out, we'll go ahead and bring our oval in and the special delivery for your birthday, and go ahead and stamp that while we're at it. So that will go right in the center there, and we'll set that back out to the side. So now we need our tear and tape, and we need to take a piece of that, just a little bit less than 1 1/2 inches, and we'll place it here on the outside edge of that tube, and then we'll turn the tube over and we'll put one on this other side. Just like that. Okay, so on this one here, this is the part that gets a little bit confusing, so I'm going to do it real slow. We are going to take this and tape it down right along this matted edge here, just in the center. So our tube is right, I didn't get that straight, let me move it up just a little bit. There we go, right there, okay? And then this one is going to go here on the back, just along this outside edge here. Okay, just like that. And they will lay on top of each other, but there will be that little bit of an offset to them, and that is what you want. Okay, so then we'll come back to our card, and this piece here that has these cutouts are going to feed into that tube. So we'll take this, and this is going to go right inside that. Let me get a better angle on it. Get these set. Okay, so I'm going to do it down this way and place it in and over. So as you can see, I've just fed that plastic over this flap here, and then the whole thing will fold up, and the last thing you want to do is put some fast fuse on this outside flap. And close this up, but you want to make sure you get it straight. There we go. Oh, and I forgot one thing, didn't I? I forgot my ribbon. Okay, so my little piece of ribbon, we'll be able to fix this. I'm going to take a little bit of a glue dot, put it in the center, and fold this over like that. And then I'll put a glue dot on either side of it. And that needs to go between the patterned paper and the Pacific Point. Unfortunately, we've got where it opens up and will allow me to do that. So that's just fine. Got that fixed. Okay. So now we'll work on the front of our card. So I have the balloons. And they'll go here. And that's just going to attach to the front. Just like that. And my special delivery will go up on dimensionals. And it will be placed off to the side so that there's plenty of room for my raccoon. So we'll put that right there. Put our raccoon out here, announcing our special delivery. And then we have a little gift. Little gift right there. And then we'll open it up and decorate the inside with a cake over here on the left side. And over here on the right, we'll have our turtle. And some gifts. Just like that. And there is your, oh, and let's trim these. I'm going to get my ribbon scissors and we'll give those some points. Just like that. And there's our little birthday double pull box. And it does stick a little bit over here on this edge just because of that flap, but if you just gently tug past it, it will close all the way. But isn't that adorable? And here's both of the two that I've done. Hope you enjoyed that. And look for this week's episode of Fast and Fabulous on Friday. And also next week, back with me for another episode of Tippin' on Tuesday. Thanks for joining me. One nice thing about this card is that you can actually press this down flat and allow it to be mailed, and then it will just pop up into position once your person has received it, and then it will work for them. So that way you can actually mail this card to somebody. So I hope that's a great hint for you so that you can make these cards for your friends and family.